Hello everybody. This week we are working with tables and I wanted to go over some of my favorite features with tables in Word. Honestly, this is one of the funnest things to work with and I use it quite a bit. And you'll go over a lot of these in the assignment, but I wanted to kind of just go over some of the different things that I like to use and some of the different things you can do with tables. So under your insert menu, this is where we're going to be working, is under table. You'll notice there's a lot of different options. So you can kind of specify how big you want your table to be. You can type it in. You can say, okay, this is how many columns or rows that I want. You can draw a table. We'll kind of go over that one in a minute. You can work with an Excel spreadsheet and bring it over to Word. And then there's also quick tables. So if you have like a specified layout or whatever you want it to look like, I'm just going to work with this. Where did the one go that I wanted? Let's try this one right here. So it already has kind of a look and a theme to it. Then you can just go in and put in your data. So lots of different options that are kind of fun to work with. I'm going to go back and just create a simple table and show you some of the different options here. What's nice about setting up your own table is if you say, okay, I want this many columns and this many rows. Columns you are a little bit more tricky to add more, but if you decide you don't have enough rows, you just go to the bottom row, hit tab, and you can add as many more rows as you want. And sometimes once I get a table in and set up on the page and I decide I want to make it a little bigger, you can also play with these sizing handles and kind of make it bigger or smaller depending on what you need. Now with any object or graphic or picture, you'll notice that when you're clicked in it, then it brings up your different menus. Sorry, my brain's working slow tonight here. And then when you click out, it just goes back to your regular options. All right, so a couple of things in the Design and Layout tab. If you notice that these are your preset designs, if you want to go and add coloring and shading, I believe for one of the assignments it's going to have you add some. And then you can even play with different shading colors and options, but these are already kind of preset ones for you that are easy to just add quickly. And then you can, make a lot of other changes that way. And then on the Layout tab, a couple of things that are kind of fun to work with here. Let's say that you want to make this top row a title. So I'm going to highlight all of the top row. And if I go over to Merge Cells, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger here. Oh, I guess we ought to highlight it. And then we can center it. Now, if you don't merge the cells and you try and make it bigger and center it, it's only going to center it across the cell that it's in. So I like to merge and center titles so that they go across the whole page. Another thing that you can do, let's say that I'm going to work with, I'm just going to type in some random words here. I want you to kind of see how it will sort and alphabetize. I'm struggling with the G word today. Okay, and then if we have just some random numbers here. Okay, so now if we want to go through and sort data, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but I kind of like to highlight it. Or even if you just want to highlight the one that you're doing, if you go to sort, it's going to say, okay, what do you want to sort by? And it's telling us that we want to sort by column 1. I'm just going to leave that, and it's text, and you can do ascending or descending. Let's do descending so that it starts with the, oh, all right, what are we doing here? Okay, it wanted me to select column 1. All right, so now you'll notice that it goes from gold all the way down to apple. All right, now it's probably going to do, well, I should have put different numbers in to show you the difference in sorting, but let's go through and sort by this column. So now we're sorting by column 2. And honestly, on my other computer, it just pulled up column 1, column 2, so I don't know why it was doing that. So if yours looks a little bit different when you pull it up, that's okay. If you want to do ascending, and honestly, when you do ascending on this one, it's going to be ascending on that one just because of the way I typed it in. But you kind of get the idea of what sorting is. So those are kind of the main ones that I use, the merge cells. If you want to split a cell, let's say you decide you have you know, multiple entries for that column, you can do the whole column, you can do just that cell. And then let's say all of a sudden we have more information, we need to insert a line above dog. Or you need to insert a column left or right. Okay, so let's say that we decide we want to put information in before that column right there. Now again, you kind of notice that it throws things off a bit. You can kind of go back and play with it after that. Try and move it on the page, try and resize it. So lots of different things that you can do with a table here. One last thing I wanted to show you was drawing a table, because I think that's kind of fun. Not something I work with a whole lot, but definitely handy if you ever need to use it. So this one, you're just going to kind of eyeball it and say, okay, I want my table to be this big. I need a column here and one over here. I need a line this way and this way and only part of one there. Okay, so this way is really handy if you don't want to have to sit and merge cells or split cells, combine, you know, things like that. It's really handy to just go in and draw it, and then you can add your content. So that's another thing to look forward to. All right, I hope I have the right keyword. I'm trying to remember it from off the top of my head, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great week.